and surge impedance loading of lines, wavelength and velocity of propagation of waves, and you are going into solve the numerical problems. Okay, these are the topics which we are going to discuss during this third module. Okay, right. So let us today take the topics: classification of transmission lines on modeling and performance of shared transmission lines. Okay, so upon completion of this lecture, you can classify the types of transmission lines, and you can also develop the mathematical solutions to estimate the regulation and efficiency of short transmission lines. Okay, right. So classification of transmission lines, classification of transmission lines and representation of transmission lines, right? So the transmission lines are classified depending upon the length and the voltage level. So those are classified into three types, which are short transmission lines, medium transmission lines, and long transmission lines. Right? See, short transmission lines in the sense the transmission lines which are having a length of up to 80 kilometers and also having the voltage level below the 20 kilovolts. So then such type of transmission lines are said to be short transmission lines. Okay. So medium transmission lines are the transmission lines which are having the distance from 80 to 160 kilometers, and the voltage level is greater than 20 kilovolts and less than 100 kilovolts. Okay, so such a type of transmission lines will come under medium transmission lines. Okay, and the transmission lines which are having the length greater than 160 kilometers, so they are called the long transmission lines, and the long transmission lines voltage level is generally greater than 100 kilovolts. Okay, so you also know that the transmission line is a distributed network, right? So what is meant by distributed network? So the resistance, inductance, and capacitance of this transmission line will be distributed throughout the length of the transmission line. Okay, right. So apart, so why these transmission lines will be classified short, medium, long means? So no, so we are having three parameters which are resistance, inductance, and capacitance. Right, the resistance and the inductance are the series parameters, and capacitance is the shunt parameter or parallel parameter, you can say. Right, so because of this shunt capacitance, the performance of the transmission line may vary, and also depending upon the length of the transmission line, you can sometimes take this capacitance into consideration, or you can neglect the capacitance. Okay, so for suppose for short transmission lines, you can neglect the capacitance. Okay, so you can consider only the series resistance and inductance values. Okay, capacitance is generally neglected for short transmission lines. Okay, and the analysis of short transmission line will be done by taking the resistance and inductance as a lumped parameter. Okay, so actually transmission line is a distributed network, but analysis will be done by taking the resistance and inductance will be as a lumped parameters. Okay, for short transmission lines. On medium transmission lines, in medium transmission line, the effect of capacitance will be taken into account. Okay, and but the analysis will be done as like a short transmission line. Okay, so the capacitance which is considered in the medium transmission line will be kept at the end, receiving end. Total capacitance will be kept at receiving end, or they can be the capacitance will be divided into two, and one part will be kept at sending end, another part will be kept at receiving end. Okay, and the analysis of medium transmission lines also will be done by considering the resistance, inductance, capacitance as a lumped parameters only. Okay, the short transmission lines and medium transmission both for the analysis of these two, short and medium, we are going to consider the resistance, inductance, and capacitance as a lumped parameter in mute your audio. Okay, right. Okay, as I said, short and medium transmission line analysis will be done by considering the resistance, inductance, and capacitance as a lumped parameter. Okay, so but long transmission lines, for the analysis of long transmission lines, So you should consider the resistance, inductance, and capacitance as a distributed parameters only, and you will use the rigorous solution for analyzing the long transmission lines. Okay, I think it is clear. Okay, short transmission line, medium transmission line, and long transmission lines. Okay, these are the classification depending upon the length and voltage levels, and the analysis will be done for short and medium as a by considering resistance, inductance, and capacitance as a lump, and for long you have to consider all the parameters as a distributed networks, and you will use the rigorous solution. Okay, now you are going to discuss about the performance of these transmission lines, short, medium, and long transmission. Right, what are the performance parameters for transmission lines? The performance parameters for short transmission lines are the efficiency and regulation. Okay, so you are going to calculate the regulation and efficiency for these transmission line. Okay, so those two parameters are the performance parameters of transmission line. Okay, and the while calculating the performance of transmission lines, you will generally use the ABCD parameters for the purpose of analysis. Okay, so you have studied these ABCD parameters in the network theory itself. Okay, so even circuits and networks, you were studied about these ABCD parameters, right? In two-port network. So now here a transmission line will be considered as a two-port network. So at sending end, you will be having VS and IS as a inputs, and output are VR and IR. Okay, so one port will be having VS and IS, another port will be having VR and IR. So now here the difference is that in your network theory, the current at the second port will be in this direction, so from right to left. So here in equations you will get VS is equal to AVR minus BIR in network analysis. But here in transmission lines, you are going to consider the direction at second port will be from left to right. So that means reverse direction to the network theory. So the voltage and current equations and VS and IS will be AVR plus BIR you will get. Okay, so IS is the CVR plus BIR. Okay, I think you know these. So from the network theory. So the only difference here is that in network theory, you will consider the direction at the second port will be this side from right to left. So, but in here you are going to consider from left to right. So this IR will be minus. Okay, minus of minus plus you will get. So VS is equal to AVR plus BIR, and IS is CVR plus BIR. So now these equations can be represented in matrix form as like this. VSIS is equal to ABCD matrix and VRIR another matrix. Okay, and you also know that condition for symmetry and reciprocity. Okay, condition for reciprocity is AD minus BC is equal to 1, and condition for symmetry is A is equal to D. Okay, so these things you know from network theory itself about two-port network. Okay, now let us study the performance of short transmission lines. Okay, you are having three types of transmission lines: short, long, and medium transmission lines. So out of those three, you consider the first transmission line, which is short transmission lines. Okay, and study the performance of these short transmission lines. Okay, so it is having a length of up to 80 kilometers, and voltage level will be generally less than 20 kilovolts. Okay, now for the analysis of this short transmission lines, as I said before, you have to consider the resistance and inductance will be lumped parameters. Okay, actually transmission line is a distributed network. Resistance and inductance are distributed throughout the length, but for the analysis purpose, we are going to consider those distributed parameters will be lumped parameters. Okay, so this is the R. R is the resistance of the transmission line, and XL is the inductance of the transmission line. So, but in the capacitance, you are not going to consider in short transmission line. The effect of capacitance will be ignored or neglected for short transmission lines. You will only be consider only resistance and inductance parameters. Okay. So this is the equivalent circuit. So this is the equivalent circuit of short transmission lines. So where you can have a resistance and inductance. So those two are the series parameters, and capacitance will be neglected. So at sending end, you will be having a current voltage of Vs, and receiving end voltage is Vr. Okay, as these two are series parameters, and sending end current and receiving end current both will be equal. Okay, so I is the sending end current, so you can also say it as Is, and IR also the receiving end current, right? So these two are equal in case of short transmission lines. Okay, so from this equivalent circuit, you can draw the this vector diagram. Okay, by taking current I as the reference parameter. Okay, so now current I you have taken as a reference. Okay, so now what is the voltage? So if you take the load to be inductive load, so then voltage will be leading the current. Okay, so voltage VR will be leading I by an angle of phi r. So this is this one, this vector. So which is having an angle of phi r. Okay, so VR is leading the current I with an angle of phi r. Okay, so then what about Vs? So Vs is equal to voltage drop across these two parameters and this voltage VR. So that means VR plus I into R plus JXL you will get. Okay, so that means all these are the vectors. Okay, so now Vs is the vector sum of VR and IR and IXL. Okay, so now you have to take all these VR, IR and IXL. So and you have to sum them vectorially. Okay, so now to get the Vs, for VR you have to add IR. Okay, for VR you have to get IR, right? That IR is the voltage drop across the resistance. So that IR will be in series with, sorry, in parallel to the current vector. Okay, so current vector you are having in this direction, so that IR also in the same direction. Okay, so you have to add this IR to VR vectorially. So then VR IR you got, then you have to add IXL to this vector again. Okay, so IXL, so now IXL is the voltage drop across the inductance, right? So when you take a pure inductance, the voltage drop, this voltage drop IXL will be leading the current I. Okay, sorry, so it will be perpendicular. So 90 degrees to I. Okay, so this voltage drop IXL will be 90 degrees to this current I. So that means, so if your current direction is in this direction, so then IXL will be perpendicular to this. Okay, right? So that IXL you have to add to this IR. So from here onwards you have to draw the vector. So then finally Vs is the VR plus IR plus IXL. So this is the vector sum. Okay, and the angle between this Vs and I is called the phi s. Hello, upon joining here, you just mute your audios, right? Don't disturb the class. Right. Okay, so you got this is the vector diagram how you can draw from the equivalent circuit. Okay, right. Now from the vector diagram, so you take a triangle, this triangle, a perpendicular triangle or rectangle triangle, this. Okay, so this is this one. So this is the rectangle triangle. Here you are having 90 degrees, right? So from this triangle, this according to Pythagoras theorem, this OC square is equal to OD square plus DC square. Okay, that is only we are writing in the next slide. OC square is equal to OD square plus DC square. Okay, so now what is this OC? OC is nothing but Vs. OC is Vs, so Vs square is equal to, now OD. So this OD length. So this is the OD length. Okay. So OD is equal to OE plus ED. Okay. So OE up to this OE plus ED is the OD length. Okay. Now what is this OE length? So now you know the angle between VR and this I as phi r. Okay. So then this OE will be VR into sin phi r, sin or cos. So if you take cos phi r from this triangle, sorry, from this triangle. So from this rectangle triangle, so if you take cos phi r as cos phi r, so then cos phi r is equal to adjacent side by hypotenuse. That means OE by OA. So OE is equal to OA into cos phi r. Okay. So that is what is OA. OA here. OA is nothing but VR. Okay. So OE value is the VR into cos phi r. Okay. Now what is this ED length? So ED length will be same as this AB length. Okay. So AB length is IR. So ED length also IR only. So now the total length OD will be equal to, so this length plus OE length plus ED length. OE is VR cos phi r and ED is IR. So that is you have to take. Okay. So here OD square is equal to OE plus ED square, which can be written as VR cos phi r plus IR into, sorry, VR cos phi r plus IR whole square you will get. Okay. So then what is DC square? So again go to the vector diagram. Now from here you have to calculate this length DE, right? So this is CD length. So now this CD length is equal to DB length up to this DB plus CB, right? CB length is IXL. So then what about this? Okay. So this length BD is equal to this AE. So these two lengths are same, right? So now, so from this triangle, so this is VR cos phi r. So then this will be VR sin phi r. That means AE is the VR sin phi r. Okay. AE is VR sin phi r. So BD also VR sin phi r. Here sin phi r plus IXL whole square. Okay. See here. So this CD square or CD square or DC square, whatever it may be, both are the same. Sorry. Okay. So CD square. So CD is sum of DB plus BC. So DB plus BC whole square. Now here DB is same as AE. That value is VR sin phi r and BC value is IXL. Okay. So from this we can say that VS square is equal to VR cos phi r plus IR whole square plus VR sin phi r plus IXL whole square. Okay. So then the sending end voltage will be under square root of VR cos phi r plus IR whole square plus VR sin phi r plus IXL whole square you will get. So this is the sending end voltage. Okay. Now we want to calculate the voltage regulation. What is voltage regulation? So voltage regulation. So change in voltage from no load to full load, which is expressed as a ratio of full load at the receiving end. Okay. So now here at the receiving end, so what is the change in voltage? Okay. There is no load. Change in voltage from no load to full load you have to consider. When there is no load, that means if there is no load, so what is VR? So VR will be equal to VS only. That means VR value under no load condition will be equal to VS only. Okay. So then VR under full load condition. VR under full load condition is equal to, so VR itself. Okay, so when there is some drop across this resistance and inductance, then the remaining voltage is VR here. So VR at full load will be VR only, and VR at no load will be VS. So that change in voltage is nothing but the difference of these two, which is VS minus VR. Okay, VS minus VR is the change in voltage, and this change in voltage will always be expressed in terms of full load voltage. So that means VR only again, full load voltage. So the regulation is VS minus VR by VR. Okay, that is the formula here. VS minus VR by VR into 100. This is the percentage of voltage regulation. Okay, so then you can calculate the sending end power factor. Sending end power factor is a power factor between VS and current I. Okay, you have to consider Sai Tarun, you unmute now. Okay, right. The sending end power factor is cos phi s. Okay, so the angle is angle phi s is here is the angle between your VS and I. So the angle between VS and I are the I is the phi s, and cos of that phi s is the sending end power factor. If it is receiving end power factor, that power factor is cos phi r. So this phi r is the angle between VR and I. Okay, right. So sending end power factor phi s, cos phi s is equal to. So now from the vector diagram, so this phi s is the angle between this VS and I. So now you have to consider this rectangle triangle. So from this, cos phi s is equal to adjacent side by hypotenuse. That means OD by OC. Okay. So this OD by OC. OC is VS and OD is VR cos phi r plus I. Okay. So OD by OC. So OD is VR cos phi r plus IR and OC is VS. This is the equation for calculating the sending end power factor. Okay. So then to determine the efficiency is nothing but power delivered by power input. Okay, or power output by power input, you can say, into 100. So now you calculate the what is power delivered. Okay, so power delivered is nothing but power output now. So power delivered is the same as the power output. Okay, the power output at the receiving end can be expressed as VR into IR cos phi r. Okay, as I said before, this IR and IS both are same for short transmission lines. Okay, IR and IS will be same for short transmission line, which is equal to capital I. Okay, in the diagram we will mention this current as I only. Okay, that I is equal to IR as well as IS. Okay, so now only if you consider the output side power, so that output side power is equal to VR IR into cos phi r. Okay, so then what about the line losses? Suppose if the equivalent circuit is mentioned there in the diagram is for only one phase. Okay, so then line losses will be generally occur in the resistance of the line. So that line losses will be represented with I square into R. Okay, I square into R are the power losses in the transmission line. Okay, so then power sent out, which is nothing but power input. Okay, power sent out from the source here. Okay, input side. So power input is equal to power output plus losses. So it can be written as VR IR cos phi r plus I square R. Okay, so now efficiency will be equal to power delivered by power sent out into 100. So you just substitute those power delivered and power sent out those equations in this expression, so that percentage efficiency of transmission line will be VR IR cos phi r by VR IR cos phi r plus I square R. Okay. Right, ma. Is there any doubt here? So this is the performance calculation of short transmission line. So without using ABCD parameters. Okay. So that means this is the general calculation by as usual in the network theory, how you are calculated. In a similar way, you can calculate the performance and efficiency of transmission line for this short transmission line. Okay. Suppose if you take ABCD parameters into account, so then also we can take we can calculate the efficiency and regulation. That will be discussed in coming slides. Okay. Right here. So now the voltage expression, what we are represented here, Vs is equal to underscore root Vr plus Vr cos phi r plus Ir whole square plus Vr sin phi r IXL whole square. So this is the exact voltage. Okay. So now let us calculate the approximate voltage. So generally this equation will be somewhat complicated, this value. So if you calculate one approximate voltage equation, which will be very simple for calculation purpose. So that approximate voltage and this exact voltage will be almost near. Okay. So instead of using this equation, you can use the approximate voltage equation. Okay. So let us see. You remember this equation also. Along with that approximate voltage equation also you have to remember, right? How you can calculate the approximate sending end voltage. Okay. Now this approximate sending end voltage we will be calculated from the vector diagram itself. Okay. So you observe the vector diagram. Now the same. Right. So inductance losses will not be considered as a power losses now. Okay. So that is a reactive power loss. That reactive power is not a working power. Okay. So voltage drops across resistance and inductance will be considered. So line losses in the sense, the losses which generally occur in the line in the form of heat. So those called the line losses. Okay. So those power dissipation will be occurred only in case of resistance. Okay. So only you will consider the resistance. You will not consider the inductance for calculating the power loss in the transmission line. Okay. Only we will consider the resistance. Okay. Inductance will not. So if you take ideal inductor, so ideal inductor doesn't. It will store the energy. Okay. It will not dissipate the energy. Right. So always for line losses, power losses only, that too, not voltage drops. Okay. Power losses for calculating the power losses in the line, you have to consider only the resistance. Okay. Current flowing through the resistance whole square into resistance of that line. Right. I think your doubt is clear. Right. Coming to the approximate sending end voltage derivation here. Here you are going to use the same vector diagram what we were drawn in the previous case. Okay. So but here only some slight modifications you are doing here. So same I will be the reference vector. So VR, so VR plus IR plus IXL will be this VS. Okay. So vector diagram will be the same. Okay. So here in this vector diagram, we are going to do some additional calculations here. So now if you observe this VS and this VR, okay. So VS is this one and VR is this one, right? So now if you extend this VR to up to the point F, okay. So the angle between those two is very small one. So generally. Okay. So now 1 minute, no?
చెప్పాలి ఆయనకి కనుక్కోవాలి ఇట్లా
Right, ma. Sorry for the interruption. Right. So now here, this OA, which is VR value, so that is extended up to the point F, and if this OC is the value of VS. Now the angle between these two is very, very small. So you can consider that OF will be approximately equal to OC. Okay, OF length will be approximately equal to OC. That means OF will be itself is taken as VS value. Okay, so the length, this length, OF value will be equal to OC. You will consider. Okay, that is the approximate value. Here you are going to neglect this angle. Okay, so by neglecting that angle, that VOC will be same as this OF. Okay, so now this OF is equal to OA plus AZ plus GF.
Planks for starters are one type of body weight
Or you can say that
never gets old,
this
no matter
OF
what.
is equal to
This
OA
exercise
plus
is perfect for those who lead
this
a busy life
AF.
and find it very difficult to go to the gym due to time constraints. Doing a plank every day, even just for a minute.
Amma, I'm
helps
repeatedly
get you
telling,
to
once you join,
In
you
fact,
mute your
most
audio.
fitness experts said themselves that planking is
Right. So this OC is approximately equal to OF, which is equal to OA plus AF, right? So that AF will be again AZ plus GF. Okay. So this total length O to F. So now you have you know the length of OA. So OA is this VR. Okay. So then what about this AZ? So what about this AZ length? Okay. So now for calculating that AZ, you have to consider one small rectangle triangle, this one. Okay, you see here, so that small rectangle triangle, which is like this, you are having. So this is G, this is A, and this is B, and here this is perpendicular value. So now here the angle here will be this phi r. Okay, so now when the angle is phi r, then what is this length? So that AZ length will be equal to, so now if you write cos phi r is equal to that value will be hypotenuse by, sorry, adjacent side by hypotenuse. That means adjacent side is AZ. Okay, so AZ by hypotenuse here is AB. Okay, AZ by AB will get, right? Then AZ will be equal to AB into cos phi r, you will get, right? That AB value is IR. So IR into cos phi r is the AZ value. Okay, so that AZ value is IR into cos phi r value. Okay, so then what is BH? Right? Then what is BH again? So for calculating BH, you have to consider the triangle BHC. So which is again a rectangle triangle. Okay. So now the angle here, which is BCH, that angle will be again phi r only. Okay. This angle is phi r. Okay. And this is B, and this is H, and this is C. Okay. So now here if you calculate sine phi r is equal to opposite side. That means BH by hypotenuse, so which is BC, right? So BH can be written as BC into sine phi r. So that BC value here is this one, so which is I into XL. So BH is I into XL sine phi r, you will get. Okay, BH is I into XL sine phi r. So this is the approximate voltage of sending end voltage. Okay, Vs is equal to VR plus IR cos phi r plus IXL sin phi r. Okay, is there any doubt here, ma, while calculating approximate sending end voltage? If you are having any doubt, you can ask, right? So from this approximate sending end voltage expression, so from this expression, you can calculate the sending end voltage. Okay, so this is the approximate voltage equation. Now if you want to calculate exact voltage, so then you have to use this equation only. Okay, Vs is equal to under square root Vr cos phi r plus Ir whole square plus Vr sin phi r plus Ixl whole square. This is the exact voltage, exact sending end voltage, right? So when you use this equation, so this is the approximate voltage. Okay, now this approximate formula gives the fairly correct result for lagging power factors. Okay, if the load is lagging load, so then this approximate voltage by using this formula will give you the almost exactly equation, right? Almost correct values you will get. Okay, so but this equation, approximate voltage equation, cannot be used for lagging leading loads. Okay, so when there is a leading load, so if you use this formula for getting the Vs, that value will be not a correct value almost. Okay, right. This is what is the approximate sending end voltage. Okay, now let us see what is the effect of load power factor on regulation and efficiency. Okay, power factor of the load, okay, on voltage regulation. So you know that regulation formula, percentage of voltage regulation will be, expression is this. Okay, so percentage of voltage regulation. So if you go to the previous slide, right, this percentage of voltage regulation is Vs minus Vr by Vr into 100, right? So now what is this Vs minus Vr? So now from the approximate voltage equation, so from this equation, so Vs minus Vr can be written as IR into cos phi r plus IXL sin phi r. Okay, so Vs minus Vr will be IR cos phi r plus IXL sin phi r. Okay, so that value you are going to substitute in the regulation formula, right? So then if you substitute that in the regulation formula, percentage of voltage regulation is equal to IR into cos phi r minus IXL into sin phi r by Vr into 100 you will get. Okay, so now from this equation you can say that this voltage regulation depends upon the cos phi r. Okay, cos phi r is the load power factor. Okay, so that means the voltage regulation depends upon the load power factor. So then how this regulation will change depending upon the load power factor. What is the effect of this load power factor on regulation? We are going to discuss. Okay, so now when the power factor is lagging or it is near to unity, so what is this difference? Okay, so when the power factor is lagging, so then cos phi r will be positive and sin phi r will be negative. So sorry, here you will get plus here. For lagging load it will be plus. Okay, IR cos phi r plus IXL sin phi r by Vr into 100 will get. So if it is a leading load, so then cos phi r will be positive only, so but sin phi r will be negative you will get. Okay, angle will be leading in the sense the angle phi r will be negative. Okay, sign of negative will be minus. Okay, sign of minus angle is equal to minus of sine angle you will get generally. So here minus sign is used for leading load and plus sign will be used for lagging loads. Okay, so percentage of voltage regulation you can say that IR cos phi r plus or minus IXL sin phi r, where plus is for leading and minus is plus is for lagging and minus is for leading. Okay, right. So when the power factor is lagging or unity, so then you can say that from the voltage expression, so IR cos phi r will be greater than the IXL sin phi r value. Okay, so when IR cos phi r is greater than sin phi r, then voltage regulation will become positive, right? So on the receiving end voltage will be less than the sending end voltage, right? Receiving end voltage will be generally less than the sending end voltage for lagging loads. Okay, so when the load is leading, so then IXL sin phi r will be greater than IR cos phi r. So in such a case, voltage regulation, what you will get is negative here. Okay. Are you clear, ma? So when the power factor is lagging power factor or unit power factor, so then the percentage of voltage regulation will be positive only. Okay. So when the load is leading or power factor is leading power factor, so then this voltage regulation what you will get will be negative. Okay, this is what you are going to see. So this is the effect of power factor on regulation, and you see the effect of power factor on efficiency also. So you know that efficiency formula is receiving end power by sending end power into 100. Okay, so receiving end power, you can also say that that is power delivered. So that power delivered or receiving end power can be expressed as VR into IR into cos phi r. Okay, for single phase, and for three phase it is 3 times of that. So P is equal to 3 VR I into cos phi r. I here is IR. Okay, for star transmission IR is equal to IS, which is equal to I. So instead of IR, you can use the I only. Okay, right. If you write I value, right, I from these two power expressions. So for single phase, the I is equal to P by VR cos phi r, and for three phase I is equal to P by 3 VR into cos phi r. Okay, so now from these two formulas, so I is directly proportional, sorry, inversely proportional to cos phi r. Okay, so in these two equations, your I is inversely proportional to cos phi r. So when the power factor decreases, so then current value increases. So when the current increases, I square r drop, power losses in the line losses will be more. Okay, when I is more, line losses which are represented with I square r for single phase and 3I square r for three phase. So these all will these losses, power losses will be more when current is more. Okay, so then losses are more means efficiency will be decreasing. So when the power factor is in decreasing, then efficiency also will decrease. So this is the effect of power factor on efficiency. So the power factor is load power factor. Okay. Right. So till now we were discuss the performance of transmission lines by using network theory. Okay, we were not used to the ABCD parameter. Now generally that these analysis will be done by using ABCD parameters. Let us see how you can do the performance analysis of short transmission lines by using ABCD parameters. Okay. So now the equivalent circuit for your short transmission line will be the same. So which is having resistance and inductance parameters in series, right? And your capacitance will be neglected for short transmission lines. Okay, and sending end voltage is Vs, and sending end current is Is, and receiving voltage is Vr, and receiving end current is Ir. Now here Is will be equal to Ir. Okay, as there is no send capacitance, your sending end current and receiving end current both are same. Okay, so now this R plus Jx will be your impedance of the transmission. Z is equal to R plus Jxl, right? So from this equivalent circuit, you can write Vs as Vr plus I into Vr plus Ir into Z. Can you write like this by using KVL? So this Vs is equal to voltage drop across this Z and this Vr plus Z into Ir you can write. Okay, and Is is equal to Ir from the equivalent circuit itself. Now these two equations Vs and Is, right? Vs is equal to Vr plus ZIR and Is is equal to Ir. From these two equations, you can represent these two equations in the matrix form, right? When you represent in matrix form, this will be equal to vector of Vs Is is equal to 1Z01 into VRIR you are getting. Okay. So now here, if you take this matrix, this is a ABCD matrix. Okay. So A value and D value, so both are equal to 1 per unit, and B is equal to Z. B is equal to Z in ohms, and C is equal to 0. Okay. This is the short transmission line in terms of ABCD parameters. Okay. Now here also you can calculate the sending end voltage. Okay. So for calculating the sending end voltage, again you have to draw the vector diagram. Okay. So now here I am taking the VR as reference. Okay. I am taking the VR as a reference. So now your IR will be at an angle of phi r to VR, right? That is also lagging. Okay. So generally your loads will be lagging. So if you take VR as reference, and your IR will be lagging the VR at an angle of phi r. Okay. So that is showing in the vector diagram. This is VR and this is IR. Okay. IR and the IS both are same for short transmission line. So the angle between this VR and IR will be phi r. Okay. Angle between VR and this IR will be phi r. Okay. So now you know that VS is the VR plus I into Z. Okay. That Z value is again R plus JX. Okay. So VS is equal to VR plus I into R plus I into XL. Okay. So vector sum of this VR, IR plus IXL is your VS value. So now for this VR, you are going to add IR. So that IR will be in parallel to your current vector, and IX will be perpendicular to your current vector. So this is IXL and this is IR. Now this VR, IR and VS, IX will be your sending in voltage VS. Okay. Now from this triangle, now here also you consider this triangle. Okay. Consider this triangle, then VS square is equal to, this is VS square is equal to this square plus this square. So that means this value is VS into VR into cos phi r IR whole square plus VR into sin phi r plus IX whole square. Okay. This is VS square, right? Then VS will be under square root into 1 power 1 by 2. Okay. Here the total value into whole to the power of 1 by 2 you are getting. So this equation will be similar to the previous case only, ma. Okay. So VR is equal to VS is equal to under square root VR cos phi r plus IR whole square plus VR sin phi r plus IX whole square you will get. So this is the exact voltage equation. Okay. So now the approximate voltage equation is this one. So which we were discussed in the previous case itself. Okay. So from this diagram, your approximate voltage is VS is equal to VR plus IR cos phi r plus IXL into sin phi r. Okay. So you can use this vector diagram method to calculate the approximate voltage, or you can use you can expand that voltage ascending end voltage expression mathematically. I will show you how. Okay. So this is your exact voltage equation. Okay. Now you are going to expand this. Okay. So VR cos phi r plus IR whole square and VR sin phi r plus IX whole square. So you expand this voltage equation. So then you will get this equation VR square plus I square into R square X square plus 2 into VRI into R cos phi r plus X sin phi r, which is under square root. Okay. Now here you take VR square as common. So then VR square is here, it is in under square. Now if you take under square VR square as common, so that VR square when it comes to the square root outside, so then it will be the VR, right? So that VR into 1 plus 2 into IR by VR cos phi r plus 2 into IX by VR sin phi r plus I square into R square plus X square by VR square whole to the power 1 by 2 you will get. So now this final expression, the last term, this I square into R square plus X square by VR square will be generally small. So that last expression will be neglected. Okay. So when you neglect the last term, so then your Vs is approximately equal to Vr plus 1 plus 2 into Ir by Vr cos phi r plus 2 into Ix by Vr into sin phi r whole to the power of 1 by 2. Okay, you are getting this. Now by expanding this binomially and retaining the first order terms only, so the final voltage what you are getting is this value, which is Vs is equal to Vr into 1 plus Ir cos phi r by Vr plus Ix sin phi r by Vr. So now this Vr you are going to take inside the under square root, right? Then the final voltage equation, which is a approximate voltage equation, is Vs is approximately equal to Vr plus Ir cos phi r plus Ix sin phi r. Okay, so this equation is similar to the previous case, which is derived from the vector diagram. Okay, so you can use either this method or you can use that vector diagram method to calculate the approximate voltage. Okay, so this value, this sending end voltage by using approximate voltage equation is almost to give the correct values for lagging loads. Okay, now if you want to calculate the voltage regulation, okay, voltage regulation definition you know, so which is the change in voltage from no load to full load, which is expressed as a percentage of your full load. Okay, so receiving ends under at no load, at load you are having Vr as the voltage. Okay, at receiving end side you are having Vr as the voltage. So the change in voltage with respect to load from no load to full load, which is expressed as the percentage of full load, is the voltage regulation. And when it is expressed in the mathematical equation, so then you can write it as this Vr under no load minus Vr under full load by Vr under full load into 100. Okay, so Vr under no load condition for short transmission line will be same as V. Under no load condition, your IR is 0, then Vr will be equal to Vr NL, you can say. Okay, so now here, so this Vr under no load condition, what is the value? See here, from this expression, so under no load condition your IR is 0. Okay, IR, when IR is 0 means this your Vr will be equal to Vs, isn't it or not? Or when you are representing in terms of ABCD parameters, right? So Vs is equal to A into Vr plus B into IR. Okay, so when you represent in them in ABCD parameter, so receiving under no load condition, this IR will be 0. So this Vr will be equal to Vs by A you will get, isn't it or not? Okay, and this A value will be here equal to, for short transmission A value is 1. Okay, so that is the only we are going to use here. Okay, under no load condition your Vr value will be equal to Vs by A. Okay, Vr value under no load condition is Vs by A, right? Then percentage of voltage regulation from this formula can be written as Vs in place of Vr no load condition, you will get Vs by A, Vs by A minus Vr under full load condition by Vr under full load condition. Okay, so now so this equation can be written as this equation, percentage of voltage regulation is equal to Vs minus A into Vr under full load condition by A into Vr under full load condition into 100. Now here the value of A for short transmission is, it is equal to 1. So the final expression what you are getting here is percentage voltage regulation is equal to Vs minus Vr by Vr into 100. Okay, so it is not confusing, don't get confused here. Okay, So generally your Vs is equal to A into Vr by, sorry, A into Vr plus I in, B into IR. So under no load condition, this IR is equal to 0. So Vs will be equal to A into Vr will get. So Vr will be Vs by A. So this value will get. Okay. Vr under no load condition will be Vs by A. That value you are going to substitute in this equation. Okay. So when you substitute in this equation, you will get this equation. Okay. So Vs into, sorry, Vs minus A into Vr full load by A into Vr full load you will get. Right. So now for sharp transmission line, this A value is 1 and Vr at full load is nothing but your Vr. So if you substitute those values, so then the final equation is percentage of voltage regulation is equal to Vs minus Vr by Vr into 100 you will get. Right. Again, this Vs minus Vr value is from this equation. So from this equation, Vs minus Vr is equal to, so this value will get IR cos phi r plus X into sin phi r. Okay. So that value you are going to substitute in the this equation. Okay. In percentage voltage equation, in place of Vs minus Vr, you are going to substitute the IR cos phi r plus Ix sin phi r by Vr into 100 you will get final equation. Right. This is for lagging load. Right. For leading load, phi r will be negative. Right. When phi r is negative in this equation, the percentage voltage equation will be IR into cos phi r minus this minus Ix sin phi r by Vr into 100 you will get. So this is the percentage voltage equation. So for leading load. Okay. Now from the same expression for zero voltage regulation. So if you want to get the zero voltage regulation, so you from this load you can get. So from this equation you will get, right? So for getting this percentage voltage regulation to be 0, what you require? The numerator term will be 0. So when the numerator term, so this IR cos phi r minus Ix into sin phi r, this becomes 0. So then the voltage will be 0. So then for condition for zero voltage regulation can be written as, so this numerator term will become equal to 0. Then when it becomes 0, IR into cos phi r can be written as Ix into sin phi r, right? IR cos phi r is equal to Ix sin phi r you will get. So this II will get cancelled. So then you bring sin phi by cos phi, sin phi by cos phi is equal to R by X you will get. Okay. So R by X you will get. So now this R by X value will be, can be written as cot theta from the impedance triangle. Right. Impedance triangle, you know, right? This is the impedance Z and this is the resistance and this is the inductance and this is the theta, impedance angle theta. Okay. So now cot theta is equal to adjacent side by hypotenuse, that means R by X. Okay. Tan phi r is equal to R by X will be getting when you equate the numerator is equal to 0. Okay. So this value tan phi r is equal to R by X you will get. So but that R by X will be equal to cot theta from the impedance triangle. That theta is angle of the transmission line impedance. Okay. So from this equation you can get that phi r is equal to pi by 2 minus theta. Okay. So that means this tan phi r can be written as cot, or this cot can be written as tan, right? So tan, this cot can be written as tan of pi by 2 minus theta. Okay, both side tan will get cancelled, though then phi r is equal to pi by 2 minus theta you will get. So this is the condition for getting the zero voltage regulation. Okay. However, this condition is the approximate condition only. Okay. Right now. So now you see this vector diagram. So we will discuss this vector diagram for getting the exact condition for zero voltage regulation. Okay. So it is already time up. 5 minutes more. So I am ending here now. Right. Thank you.